And yeah, so Emmanuel, will it be the session will be recorded?
Yes, it will. It will be recorded and live streamed.
Yeah, so actually our director was the owner of my company where I was surprised. And he asked me that if you are able to share me the recording, then I will definitely see your presentation.
Okay. All right.
Welcome
That's very
everybody.
fine.
The event's about to start now.
All right.
Yeah, so welcome everybody to today's cloud hosting meetup. And our topic for today is cloud hosting demystified. Hope I'm very audible before I continue.
Yes, you are.
Yes,
All right,
very.
thank you. Firstly, we have two speakers. Let me tell you what's a little bit about our topic for today, cloud hosting demystified. Cloud hosting works through virtualization. It is a technology that splits a physical server into multiple virtual machines called clouds servers. Then this connects to create a single network for hosting a website due to its interconnected cloud structure. The type of hosting is also called cloud cluster server hosting. Cloud hosting employs virtual server to host websites. In comparison, traditional web hosting services usually house one or multiple sites on one physical server. This is just a little bit about what we are going to talk about today. This is just an insight into what we have to talk about today. And for the event today, we have two speakers already available to talk to us on this topic, with our external speaker's name as Shiam Italia. Or I don't know if I pronounce it right, but
Uh, yeah,
our
so
second speaker.
yeah, so pronunciation
Yeah.
is correct. So thank you, team. Thank you for
Yes,
giving
sir.
me this
Welcome, sir. Let me
opportunity.
do a kind of introduction.
For yeah. So
All
thank
right.
you for giving me this opportunity to be part of your team.
Well, let me to introduce you first, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So Shita Italia, a little bit about him. He has closely worked with multiple departments for the below operations. He has worked with the CI and CID for all projects, application monitoring, backup monitoring, application vulnerability and cyber security, infrastructure design and deployment, leading automation question and answer team, decide the IT highway purchasing authority, direct coordination with customers for technical challenges related to infrastructure, performance tuning, load testing, automate manual testing using PowerShell scripting. These are just few of what he has done. And to tell you that this event is going to be it's well packed already to give you the best and as a techie to help you grow. So let's welcome Mr. Shriram Talia. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Uh, Thank you. Thank you, Pinpompi. So let me share my screen. Yeah. I hope all of you are able to see my screen.
Yes, sir, we can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can.
So yeah. So good afternoon to everybody. So today we are going to take the session on the content delivery network. So we will uh, we will see how what is a CDN, how it is work, and what are the importance of using the CDN service. Yeah. So I think uh, uh, you have already shared my introduction, but let me share some of something about myself. So currently, I'm IT manager and senior DevOps engineering for one of the Canadian startup company called Vocally. And I'm a former developer. I'm people person. I would like to work with the people very well. And yeah, so my core area of interest is R&D, cybersecurity, also, I'm doing designing hardware and servers. Yeah, so let's start. So today we are going to see. So this is our agenda for today's meeting. So we will see the introduction part first. Then we will see the primary goals for the CDN service. What are the CDN providers in our current markets? And what is the working mechanism of the CDN? So features of using CDN and what are the use cases that some of you are would like to use in your company? Then we will see the use cases, and then we will start using the AWS CloudFront and with hands-on demo. Yeah. So in the current picture, you can able to see. So the first one is the normal network that we are or some of the companies are using, in which there is one central server and rest of the systems are connected with the server directly. And in another picture, you can able to see that there can be one central server in middle of all these cache server, and all the systems are connected with the cache servers. So, so you can see if all the users are connecting to a central server, then it may take some time, and the load will be also increased in the server. And in other scenario, by using CDN, we can distribute the load with the cache server, and by using the cache server, so from the nearest or closest path, user can able to get the data from the closest server. So I think you can able to understand very clearly in this picture. So you can assume that there is one server in the North California, and the users are using the websites globally, and you can able to see there are multiple regions are available for the CDN service, in which they have created the cache server. So once user hits the website, then user came to this cache server, and cache server found that is this file or data exist within our cache server or not. If the data is exist, then automatically user will get the data here. And if the data has been expired or the data is not available in the case, then it will try to find from the main server. So this is how the CDN service works. So you can see if you are in the Nigeria. So if you have the closest region is it might be in UK. So if you open the websites, then automatically you will get the data very quickly rather than going to um, the US. So latency will be decreased. So it will be very beneficial for you. Yeah, so why we should use the CDN service? So these are some of the primary goals for using CDN service. So it creates a replica over the internet. So you can see the replicas has been created globally, and to ensure that the replicas are available, always available. Yeah. So so that means. So let's take example of the Cloudflare. So Cloudflare is the one of the largest CDN provider in the world, which has tons of uh, data center all over the world, and they are ensuring that the data center which are available, which have been built for the K server, should be up and running. So they are ensuring the replicas are should be up and running. And another thing is they should be able to provide the quick and effective, reliable service to end user. If user is accessing the website from the Australia, and so the user should be able to get the same data from the server to that user with the latest, or after expiring the case, the user should be able to get the latest data. So these can be the primary object, and data should be consist. So they are ensuring. So CDNs are we are ensuring that the data which are available in all the cache servers should be consistent. So if user is getting older data or unexpected data, then it will be create issue within our system. So CDN service will take care of it, and we will also design the network the way CDN should work. So you can let me know if you have any questions. So we will take that one as well. Yeah. So I'm moving forward with the CDN provider. Yeah. So you can see there are lots of CDN providers in the current market. So this is the Cloudflare. The icon is the Cloudflare, which is the largest CDN provider in the current market. Second one is the AWS Cloudflare. Then we can say Kamai network is there. NextCDN is also there. Key CDN is also there. Azure CDN service is also there. So these are the major CDN provider in our current market. And yeah, so you can able to see uh, the CDN service used by based on the count, based on consumer count. So you can see Cloudflare is the winner in this area. So because the Cloudflare also provides the best DNS service. So they are also if you are updating any records, and if you are using Cloudflare, and then within a second it will reflect the DNS records instantly to all over the world. So Cloudflare has more of like SMB, small, medium scale market, and AWS has more or less like enterprise market segmentation. So because the AWS provides the cache and regions vastly, and especially built for the websites and the static content hosting. So most of the public are using, most of the peoples or companies, organizations are using the AWS for their content delivery net. Then you can see there are lots of other CDN provider out there. So Kama, Imperva, and Fastly. So AWS is very easy to implement, and configuration is easy, and you can able to learn very easily as well. So I'm moving to further. Yeah. So what are the use cases for the CDN? So first, if you have one scenario in which you would like to accelerate the images, style sheets or JavaScript, then you can definitely look into CDN service, because they are auto compressing the all the static files and serving the data to from the nearest region to closest means or the person. And if you would like to live stream or video streaming publicly, so what will be happen if we deploy the website for especially like YouTube, then it will take more bandwidth if we have only one single server. But if you are would like to deploy the website for the video streaming, then it will be very beneficial. So all of the so it will not hamper in our central server, and user can able to stream the video without any bufferings. And yeah, so definitely you can also able to deploy the static HTML websites, and it will be very, very, very fast. So you will see the major change for moving your websites to to a CDN service. So if you are getting the the response time, let's say 30 to 40 ms, then automatically you will get the data in the 10 to 12 ms. So it will be very drastical change for network latency. And another thing is, so AWS has fast and distributed architecture, so you can able to integrate within the Lambda functions if you have any specific scenarios. So now we are moving. So today we will see this CloudFront. We will, if you would like to see CloudFront, then we will take another session on Cloudflare as well. Yeah. So now we are talking about the CloudFront service for now. Yeah. So how it works? So this is their primary architecture of the CloudFront. So you can see this is the developer over here, or the person who are trying to access the websites, and website is available in the HTTP server. So we are now replacing the HTTP server with the S3 bucket. So we will deploy our websites to or static content to S3 bucket. So we will upload the S3 bucket content in the S3 bucket, and then we will create the CloudFront distribution based on S3 bucket. And once the distribution has been created, then automatically it will be replicated to the edge locations. And once all the setup is up and running, so you can have a domain like D11 cloudfront.net. So it can be XYZ. So they are providing the custom domain once everything is configured correctly. So once it is done correctly, you can able to map your custom domain if you require, like beancom.net, demo.beancom.net, or google.com, whatever domain. You can create a CNAME record and map with these records. So it will be very beneficial. So you can see user was going to S3 buckets or HTTP server directly. So once we have created CloudFront, so once user request, so it goes to CloudFront, and it will serve. It will get the data from the edge location, and it will be served to the user. I hope you are able to understand what I am trying to explain you. So if you have any queries, then you can definitely let me know. I will definitely guide you. So now I am moving further. So why people are using AWS CloudFront service? So this is another major reason. So you can see there are more than 410 edge global network available for the AWS. More than 400 edge locations are available, and there are 13 regional mid-tier cases are created, and it is available in the 47 countries and 90 plus cities all over the world. So this is the major reason people are using AWS CloudFront service. So user can able to get the data very quickly because it is mostly available in all the regions. Yeah. So another features we are now going to discuss for CloudFront. So we are getting very low latency. So in terms of if we are using the single server for our whole public productions and network, then it will create the issue within our server in terms of CPU memory or network usage. So in here we will save the bandwidth, And in top of that, AWS is providing the high bandwidth. So if you are deploying your website for especially for the video streaming, then you can definitely look into this as well, because they are providing high bandwidth in from all the regions. So their networks are redundant. There are main securities, and there are lots of, if any primary server or data center goes down, then there are lots of other backup solutions are available for which is very secure and scalable. So another very major thing what there is, so if we compare, so there are lots, millions of people are using the websites, if you can assume, then if we are using a central server, or we are not using the CDN service, then it will be, so our server can be goes down. So in terms of CloudFront, it can manage a number of load, and it will scale up the network automatically based on the load. So it is also available globally. And another good thing is it is very cheap. So you just need to pay that you are using. So they are cost effective and pay as you go architecture. So based on this, I would suggest CloudFront would be the best option if you are would like to scale up your websites and solving the website very quickly. Yeah, so this is another small thing. So user is requesting the application, so it goes to CloudFront and it goes to nearest edge locations, and edge location would check the files if it doesn't exist with the primary server, and request goes to the server, response goes to the server. So this is how the application or platform architecture works. So, so you might have questions now that how AWS CloudFront can be integrated with any AWS service. So there are primary four services are available there in which you can able to integrate with CloudFront. The first one is the S3 bucket. So most of the people are using S3. Another thing is EC2, and third one is elastic load balancing, and fifth one is fourth one is Route 53. So so these are four primary integration you can do with CloudFront service. Yeah, so now we are going to have a hands-on demonstration part for how CloudFront is works and how we can integrate or how we can set up it for our uh, internal organization. So let me stop my screen just a moment. I hope you all are enjoying the session.
Yes, we are. Yeah.
So I'm going to share my screen once again. Yeah. So so we are now going to take example with S3 bucket. So so for now, assume that there is none of any buckets in my current account. So I'm now going to create the S3 bucket. So you can test, so the demo bucket, and So when you are going to create S3 bucket, you have to check that the options are available for deploying the bucket, and the the closest region that you are required. So if your clients are in based in US, and you might need to check the US region, and some of your clients you are using Asia or any Europe region, then you can definitely look into the specific relevant regions. So for now, we are taking North Virginia. It is US East Fund, and we will enable access control list for the bucket. And I'm disabling this public, restricting the public access. So we would like to give access to all the users publicly. So I want to click. So I'm acknowledging that yeah, I'm ensure, and I'm sure about that. I'm going to uh, publicly deploying my website. So another good thing is SC bucket is providing. They are providing the versions. So if you are deploying the application which has same file name like index.html, and if you are deploying to or uploading multiple times within the S3 bucket, then it will create the copies or versions of the files. So if in the future, if you would like to uh, roll back the application or any website, then you can definitely by if you have enabled the version, then you can definitely roll back that file to specific version. So for now, I'm enabling the bucket versions. So for now, we do not require any encryption. So I'm creating or selecting the disabled option. Rest of the options would be same. Oh, so, we have been from there. So you can see our SC bucket has been created, and now I am going to upload one HTML page. So let's see. So this is the thing. Are you able to see this notepad file? Now, are you able to see this notepad file, or you are seeing the Chrome browser?
The Chrome browser.
Okay. Okay, sure. So now I'm going to upload a HTML file. You can drag and drop, and you can upload. Both options are available. So I'm uploading the HTML file, which has only one tag. So we will take standard class for now. We do not require uh, any. So there are lots of options are available. We may check these later on, or you can able to see these options which are understandable easily. So if you have any scenario like long live architecture, and you are not going to and you are going to retrieve with for minutes and hours, then you can able to see select these options. And if you have a specific scenarios that once a year you will be browsing that file, then you can able to select the options based on your requirement. But for now, we are taking standard. That means we are going to access the website very frequently. So I'm selecting standard, and you can able to see the availability zones for this S3 class. And we do not require any server encryption for now. We do not require additional checksums. Yeah, so file has been uploaded. So you can able to see. So file is not able to access publicly. You can see they're giving it 69. So now I am going to allow users to access.
Yes, I was. Is this still on, or am I the one that is off?
Yeah, sorry guys. My or because of rains, the season is rainy, so light has been off for now. So
Oh,
yeah, so I let me try to connect, share my
okay.
screen one.
All right.
I had a backup plan. I already prepared the backup plan for all of you.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So file has been uploaded correctly. Yeah. So you can see, uh, I can now able to see the website. So the content is CD and training session. So now, what will happen? Uh, because of the S3 bucket is in US region, so the people who are getting the data or fetching the website or uh, try to access the website from the US, then they will get the data very quickly. But the person who are outside of the US network, then they will not be able to get the data very quickly because of the S3 bucket is not in their region, so it is in the US region. So now we are going to integrate the website with CloudFront. So this is a create. And here the thing. So you as I have said earlier, there are four options are available for the origin domain. So for now, I am taking SC bucket, and you can see this beancom demo SC bucket. I am able to see here. So now I'm going to select it, and the origin path, the URL. So this is optional for now. So we are keeping as it is. So another thing is CloudFront can create policy for the S3 bucket. So it means if you would like to not to access, if you would not like to access the S3 buckets data publicly, and it should be served from the CloudFront, then you can able to select this yes use OIS. So bucket can restrict access to only CloudFront. So none of user can access the data other than the CloudFront. So once we select this yes option, and you can see there is no any policy created yet. So I'm now going to create the policy. Giving the default name. You can give any name based on your requirement. And other thing is, so you can
Okay.
select yes, yes. So is there any question?
Leave none for
Uh,
now. Or maybe
So
after the whole presentation,
so,
you can take
yeah.
questions.
The question comes after the second speaker have spoken. Thank you,
yeah,
sir,
yeah.
for that.
So yeah. Okay. So I have
Yeah.
selected yes, update the policy bucket policy. So it means it will create the bucket policy automatically for accessing this specific option. And see, you can add custom labels if you would like. Let's say the data should expire within these 7 days, 14 days. So you can able to set some of the policies using custom headers from here. And this is enable origin seed, origin additional casing layer. So I'm not sure about this thing. Sorry. So yeah. So the in if HTTP server there is term called compression. So so AWS CloudFront is providing the compressing the object dynamically. So I am selecting yes. So when data transfer from the case to end user, so it will be transferred over kind of zip. So it can very quickly. Yeah, and another thing is you can select the viewer protocols. So I am selecting HTTP to HTTPS. So once user try to access the website from HTTP, then automatically it will be redirected. So you can select the options accordingly. And for now, the website is static and we do not require any post method or uploading any data. So I'm selecting get and add methods only. And this is a restrict for access. Sign URL. So I'm also not aware about this option. I'm not tried yet. I will definitely look into this as well. Guess key. I think yes. I think we will go with this policy. Yeah. So we are going with default case policy. Which is provided by within the CloudFront. This is optional. We do not require. You can able to select viewer request, viewer response, and customize the request and response by integrating with the Lambda Edge functions. And if you are deploying the CloudFront, then you must select this option, use all edge locations for getting the best performance. If you are using any other specific regions, then you might not be able to get best performance. We do not require web application firewall for now, and it can be created later on as well. And if you, yeah, so this is the CNAME, or you can able to create the custom domains based on your requirements. So if you have like beancom.net, if you would like spend this domain with this option, then you can definitely give any domain name. And if you are creating any specific domain, then you have to create SSL certificate as well. So I have already created this added the SSL certificate within the AWS certificate manager. So you have to do this before proceeding to our front. So I have yeah. So I'm not selecting any certificate for now. Yeah. So this is very important. If you are serving your website with other names like feedback.html, test.html, then you can definitely give the root of your project. So for now, our root of our uh, website is index.html. So I'm giving index.html, and we do not require logging. So if you enable the logging, then it will create logs in the S3 buckets. And IPv6, I think it is optional. Whatever suits to you, it is okay. So now I'm going to create a distribution. So it may take some time, about 2 to 3 minutes. Meanwhile, you can able to ask me any questions if you have, or we will. I will explain you some of the features. So here is thing. So in the CloudFront, you can able to add more than one S3 bucket. So if you have a scenario in which you would like to achieve the high availability, then if primary S3 bucket goes down, then you can able to create S3 buckets in other multiple regions. And from the so CloudFront will, if we CloudFront not able to get any data from primary S3 bucket, then it will try to access it from the secondary bucket and third bucket and provide you the data. So this is how CloudFront works. And S3 bucket has the policy for replicating the objects. So by replicating the objects, so you have to upload the content to single S3 bucket, and it will be replicated to all the S3 buckets. So you can able to maintain the consistency. Let me check if it is, yeah. So strategy enabled, still it is getting deployed. Let me refresh once again, because it takes some time, because it is creating the cache in all the regions. So this is the regions. There's the behavior that we have done. Yeah. So and another thing is you can able to manage the errors. So if user try to access the page which doesn't exist in your website, like /404/test, and user will get the 404 message over there. But if you would like to customize the data based on HTTP error code, then you can definitely create custom error response. So there are lots of error codes are available. Let's say forbidden, not found, uh, range not satisfied, 500. So if a user gets a 500, then what you would like to do? Yeah, so you can redirect that user to specific HTML page. So let me check. Yeah, so I think it is deployed now, and you can able to see. So you can able to see the last modified time is our current time, which is the US time. And you can see this the domain name that I have told you. So it has created cloudfront.net with XYZ domain. So let me access this domain. Yeah, so you can able to see uh, it can able to serve my content that I have created from S3 bucket. So let me see what's my DNS. So you can able to see there are lots of area codes are available for this specific domain, and it is vary based on regions. So from all the other regions, we are able to get the different IPs for this domain. So you can able to see this specific domain can mapped with multiple regions around the globe by using IPs. So this is the reason we are getting the data very frequently. Now, uh, I'm going to now I'm going to upload the content with let me just I'm going to update my current HTML file with so time with uh, 20 22 minutes. So I am going to so I updated my file. So I'm going to upload. And you can able to see there are two versions has been created. So first version was deployed earlier, and the second version has been deployed right now. So you can see the timings, and you can able to see the current version. But the file name is same. This is how the versioning works. So So I have updated my website, but it is still showing me the old data. So I'm here is another important thing. Once you update any content, you have to invalidate the case from all the regions. So for that, you can able to do it by going in the CloudFront. There is option called invalidation, and if you select this create invalidation, then you are able to see the, some of the suggestions are available. So I'm uh, so you can invalidate this case for specific module, folder, or a specific website, but I'm uh, invalidating whole. So I'm doing slash start. So it means from SC bucket, all the data should be invalidated. So I have triggered the invalidation case. So what it does, it will get the new data from the S3 bucket, and it will replicate to all the edge locations, and it will create the cache. may take some time. Let me see. It is that. Yes, it is completed. Yeah, so so you can able to see content has been updated right away after invalidate the cache. So this is the way how CloudFront works. And another good thing is if you are using any custom domains, let's say bincom.net, demo.bincom.net, and if you have created the certificate or imported certificate by using DNS record creation, then it will maintain your SSL certificate automatically. You do not have to renew all the time, and it is free. So it will maintain it very well. So I think this is from my end. I think this session was very helpful for all of you.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
Yes, sir. Josh.
So me, if you have any questions, so we will definitely go through it and we'll try to help you out. If you
Are
have
you done
any
with your
questions,
presentation, sir?
oh,
Can you...
so I think Alex, do you have any questions?
All right, sir. We will take the question after the second speaker has spoken. So any question they have come after the second speaker speaks. Thank you, sir.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
All right. So we're about to call the second speaker to speak now. But before we call the second speaker, we have some services we render as Beacon that we like to share with everyone. So I'll quickly share some a YouTube video with us stating our services.
So based on your question, what I've got, just correct me if I'm wrong. So I've got from you that you would like to learn CloudFront and how to start learning. Is this a correct question?
Sir,
Alex or Emmanuel, could you just help
Yeah.
me out because your some of the words I'm not able to understand.
All right. So he's
Okay.
asking if we have questions, but apparently nobody has any questions. So
no, it's not that though.
It's
What's
not that.
happening is
It's
that
not that.
we have to, the second speaker has to speak before the question are being taken. So
all
now
right.
the second speaker has to speak then. So you have to stop sharing screen. So I'll be able to share my screen then. Second speaker speaks, then question will come in. Then we'll close. Thank you.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right. Thank you, sir. Okay. Where am I going to? Yeah. All right. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can.
All right. So this just the sorry, I've made a mistake. Sorry. You'll be able to hear what she's saying. Just sound and this and share. Yeah.
Bincom Dev Center is a multi-location tech training and development center
And everybody
in
here,
Nigeria,
please.
and our major objective at Bincom Dev Center is to produce over 1,000 quality tech individuals every year.
Please, can everybody hear?
Highly employable, globally attractive,
All right,
and
thank you.
highly
Yeah,
Yes, we
we can able
can.
All right.
ecosystem. You ask why, right? Yes, tech talents are in high demand in international communities such as US, the UK, Canada, and France. These countries have made policies and pathways to enable immigrations for tech talents. And guess what? Average salaries of software developers are as high as £5,000 per annum, and this is at the entry level. The opportunity for tech talents are endless, both locally and internationally. This means that the tech ecosystem is one of the highest employers of labor in Nigeria. Yet, many tech companies say that they are not able to find the right tech talents that they need. Why we started the Pincom Global Tech Program. The program focuses on three major pillars, which are learn skills, gain experience, and gain exposure. The program spans between 1 to 2 years, and during this period, trainees are taken through an in-depth curriculum in their chosen tech tracks and also in development of soft skills required for them to become globally attractive in the tech ecosystem, both locally and internationally. This program helps trainees to learn tech skills, gain relevant tech experience, and also exposure to the endless possibilities and opportunities available in the tech ecosystem all over the world. Listen to some of the testimonials of our past trainees.
Yes, I had high hopes and expectations while
Various knowledge tracks that you can choose from. Some of the technical knowledge tracks include the data science track, which is starting with Python. We have the backend track starting with PHP, the front end mobile app track starting with JavaScript, the DevOps infrastructure track. We have the UI UX graphics track and also the software testing and quality assurance track. And apart from the technical and software programming knowledge tracks, we also have business knowledge tracks that are equally highly paid across the world. And some of them include the project, service, and product management track starting with Agile. We have the digital marketing, performance marketing track as well. That's interesting, right? Yes. This is a highly intensive program. You need to be able to commit at least 40 hours every week to the program. You can choose from our various shifts. We have the regular shift, which is the 40 hours weekly, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays and 1 to 2 Saturdays a month. We have the night shift, the 40 hours weekly, which is 5 p.m. till late on weekdays and 1 to 2 Saturdays every month. We also have the majorly weekend shift, which is 40 hours weekly, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays, and then 4 hours every other weekdays. We also have other flexible shifts based on your availability. Yes, all you need to start are a laptop device and a passion and a hunger for IT. But wait, it gets better. We have various financing options to help you cover the cost of the program. Though the program is not free, you do not need to have money to be able to apply and be admitted to this program. The total cost of the Bincom Global Tech program over the 1 to 2 years period is 1.2 million naira. And we have one of the financing options available is the income sharing agreement, which means that the company will sponsor you through the entire program and you only start paying when you start earning income. After the program, this means that aside the skills, the experience, and the exposure, the company is also willing to invest their money on you. It doesn't get better than that. What are you waiting for? Hurry up to bincom.net/globaltech and register to launch your global tech career. Thank you.
All right, so thank you. So that's one of our services that we offer at Pincom. So it's time for the next speaker to speak. I call on Mr. Alex Michael, one of our mobile app developers in Pincom Dev Center. Thank you. You can have the stage now.
I'm not a mobile app developer.
Sorry. Sorry about that. I'm taking you for Mr. Farouk. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, let me check the flyer. But you can have the stage. Anyways.
Okay. So
Sorry, cloud engineer. It's my life. Yeah, sorry about that. Cloud
yeah,
engineer.
no problem. There's no problem.
Yeah.
So good evening, everyone. A lot has already been said. A lot has been said, and I really enjoyed the last session because a lot of light was shed on how cloud services such as CloudFront is being utilized. And looking at what we have here today, which is more like a continuation of what Shyam has rightly shared with us. Our topic is cloud hosting demystified. So what we are trying to do here is that we are trying to see how cloud hosting works. What really is cloud hosting? And how does the technology actually benefit we who actually do a lot of operations either on our physical server or in the cloud. Now, as you can see here, my name is Alex Michael, a DevOps and cloud engineer. And yes, we'll be going straight to business. So I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yeah, we
Yes,
can.
we can.
And am I in the next slide?
Yes, you are.
Okay,
Yes, you
I
are.
want to confirm that. Thank you very much. So, so what we'll be having here is this introduction to cloud. What is cloud hosting? So we say cloud hosting is a server and network infrastructure that uses software to divide a single physical server into multiple virtual servers. Often, these devices are referred to as virtual machines. Now, if we are talking about cloud hosting, it only means one thing in summary. From the word cloud, or everyone knows a cloud. In fact, we can even see, if you can look at my mouse moving, you can see the image by the left-hand side. From the word cloud, it means something. It means that the thing is actually in the air. Now, from this image, we can see that you can actually do a lot of things. You can actually have your securities in the cloud. You can have your websites in the cloud. You can have messages in the cloud. You can even have a virtual computer in the cloud. Now, what is this trying to say? It's trying to say that we can actually have anything that we have physically, we can also have it virtually. And that is why at the later part it says, often these devices are referred to as virtual machines. So it only means one thing, that if I am having my operating system right here in my local machine, right here on my computer, I'm having my operating system Ubuntu or Windows, or even the server is, let me just say Windows server. And then it's only trying to tell me something, that I can actually have remote control of what is in my computer right here. Assuming I'm having MS Word, I'm having GitHub installed, I'm having Open Project installed, I'm having a lot of softwares installed or resources. What cloud hosting is actually trying to tell me is that, yes, it is possible for me to have access to all these softwares right from the cloud. And that is why from this image you have over here by the left, you can see a lot of operations being carried out in the cloud. And the cloud actually does what? It helps us to absorb all. It helps us accommodate all. From our last session, we were able to notice something, that AWS is not just a one thing. It's actually an infrastructure. And one of the key components of an infrastructure is that it is able to manage different operations, right from databases to machine learning, from machine learning to file management to database management, to as many resources that we can handle. And infrastructure will be able to accommodate it. We'll be able to make those operations to be seamless. And that is why one cannot actually call a Google a Gmail. One cannot actually call it a cloud infrastructure. In case I'm going too deep, there are actually different types of services. There's network as a service. There is infrastructure as a service. There's software as a service. Something like our Gmail, something like our OneDrive, you know? All this actually helps us to keep resources in the cloud. We can also call them software as a service. but does not mean that they can actually handle an infrastructure. Infrastructure has to do with when something like Microsoft Azure, maybe something like AWS, as we've just seen now, where it is you are able to actually create a server. Aside from creating a server, you're also able to create a network. Aside from creating a network, you're also able to create a database. Aside from creating a database, you're also able to carry out different operations and, of course, do a lot of integration within it. That is where an infrastructure comes in. But right now, we are talking about cloud hosting. So cloud hosting can mean anything. It can mean from that Gmail to AWS, from AWS to OneDrive, from OneDrive to maybe Dropbox, anything, as long as we are not having to use our physical devices, which might even be our phone, to have access to it. Now, for my next slide, I actually have a pictorial representation of what I'm saying. Now, what is this? This is a server. A single physical server is what is written here, and it is divided into different machines. Now, what this picture is trying to do is that it's trying to explain how a cloud infrastructure as a service actually works. How does AWS work? How does Microsoft Azure work? How does Alibaba work and all that? Now, there is a place, and this place is known as an availability zone. If you could remember when Shine was actually presenting, he said something. He said one of the advantages of cloud services is that you are able to have access to it in different parts of the world. And that is one of the reasons why AWS is actually most preferred, because it has most of the availability zones, like it has more than every other. So from this, we can see that there is a server somewhere in an availability zone or in different availability zones. And that is why it's called a single server. And then this single server can actually be divided into different machines, which in this course is called virtual machines. So we actually need the concept of virtualization to be able to make use of these virtual servers. We will talk about virtualization later. So what cloud hosting is just trying to do is that, okay, I'm speaking to Microsoft, and I'm saying, Microsoft, please, I need, okay, fine, you have a big data center in England or in London or in Europe, and I want to have access to part of your resources in such a way that, yes, I am company ABC, and I want to actually have a server, I want to have a database, and I want to have, let me just say a server and a database for now. Let me not talk about the networks. And then I now say, okay, fine. You have a big infrastructure. You have these big machines in your data center. And I know that you can't use everything just at the immediate. So what do? I tell Microsoft, I want to have a portion of it. And that is where the subscription actually comes in, where you have to subscribe. Yes, they are free tiers, but they are also subscription depending on the amount of resources you will need from their physical data center. So all from their physical data center, they give you privilege and say, okay, fine, you've made some payments, and then we are giving you this service. Now, those services they are giving you actually gives you that room to actually create what is virtual server. And that is why most of this infrastructure as a service, e.g. AWS, you will see Ubuntu, you will see Microsoft, you will see Red Hat, you will see CentOS, because they have all these readily in their data center. So of course, that is why, as you can see the big guy over here, which is the single physical server, and Can you see the cloud over it? It means it is remote. It is somewhere far away, maybe in Europe or in India. And then some people somewhere are actually having access to this remote server or this remote data center using virtual servers. And that is why we are able to host we are able to carry out web hosting. We are able to have to carry out remote access desktop and application development. So that is why it is very important, especially at a time like this, that in order to reduce cost and go through the old, let me call it stress of having to buy physical servers and physical infrastructure, and then of course you having to always maintain it, you having to always do a lot of maybe troubleshooting and then downtimes and so many other challenges. You actually can just leave all that to the cloud provider. All what you just need to do is just get whatever you need, whatever resources you need for you to manage your operations, which could be maybe server management, which could be maybe creating a website, which could be maybe hosting an application or anything else. So I hope we all can hear me. I hope you can also see my screen. Currently, I'm in virtualization.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. So, virtualization, what does this technology actually mean? How does it actually come to play in the whole, let me use the word ecosystem in quotes, in the whole ecosystem of cloud hosting? Now, someone is having his mic not muted. Can anyone please mute the mics? Thank you very much. So, virtualization, what does it mean? Virtualization uses software to create an abstraction layer over computer hardware that allows the hardware elements of a single computer, processor, memory, storage, and more to be divided in multiple virtual computers, commonly called virtual machines. Now, as we can see over here, from this image, we can see a server. But in this point, maybe this is not just the best image to even use. Rather, the way virtualization actually works is that, take it for example, for some of us that has worked with a virtual box, Oracle virtual box, you have a single computer. Your computer is working as a host, or should I say serves as a host. And then that computer is also having another OS on top of it. Now, in order for you to allow another OS to be mounted on it, there's something you have to actually enable using your BIOS. And that is you having to enable virtualization. Do you know why you are actually having to enable your virtualization? Because your computer will have to share memory, it will have to share storage, it will have to share CPU processor, and all that. And that is why at that moment, your computer is a host. In fact, your computer at that point is working as a server because it's actually giving everything it has, sharing it with another operating system on it. And that is why from the right here, the same way, this server is going to also share resources to different computers over here. If you can see my mouse and then the image by the right, the same way this server will actually give resources to other computers, as many as are available. That is the same way that local machine, that computer, that physical hardware that you have right in front of you is also sharing its own resources when it comes to memory and storage and processors, so that another operating system can use out of it and work perfectly. And that is why if you are using your virtual box, by the time you've created, of course, you already have your image, maybe your Ubuntu image or your Windows image. By the time you've actually installed it on your VirtualBox, you see something, it displays something to you, virtual machine, maybe virtual machine 1, virtual machine 2, as many, virtual machines that you create within that VirtualBox. So that is why virtualization, without it is not possible. Without it being enabled in a computer, it is not possible for it to actually host another OS on it. It must be enabled. So each VM runs its own operating system, very true, and behaves as an independent computer. Yes, it is very true. And remember, I said something that there's actually an image. This image can be in form of ISO file, maybe Ubuntu LTS.ISO, or maybe, let me say, Kali Linux, maybe Kali Linux 20.3.ISO. You actually download that ISO file from the net. Now, by the time you download it from the net, the next thing you see is that, or you have to do rather, is that you have to what? You have to install it inside your VirtualBox. Now, at that period, it works on its own, meaning that my computer, which is already a Windows machine, we actually house another operating system that will work independently. Whatever is done on that operating system does not concern or will not affect the host operating system or the host machine. And that is why most of the time, a lot of people that use this technology of virtualization, also even in the cloud, you can have a server, you can destroy it 1,000 times, and yet your computer is still fine. So that is what we are talking about here. And it says, and even though it is running on just a portion of the actual underlying computer hardware, and it is true, it is just on a portion. It's actually working just on a portion, but it is actually using the resources, as many as you want to give it. And that is why most of the time when you have another operating system working as a virtual machine on your host local machine, you find out that it is slower, because another operating system is actually sharing resources with it. So all this I've just mentioned is how the cloud also works. Just look at the cloud as that local machine that we just talked about that serves as the host. Then look at, of course, we business ABC and business XYZ having to come more like the operating systems that comes to share resources with the server itself, or with the host machine in this case. So that is the way virtualization works. So cloud hosting over server hosting. Yes, there is something known as server hosting. That is the physical one we have. You know, back in the days, banks, organizations, you know, manufacturing companies and all that, they will always have a physical server somewhere, maybe locked down in a basement. Or even if they don't want to make it a basement, maybe at the top of a high rise. You know, because of security, not everybody should have access to it and all that. Now, the question is, why is the cloud better than having this physical server? It is written here, when a server crashes, it takes time and cost to solve the challenge. Very true. Very, very true. Whenever a server crashes, a physical server crashes, just imagine the time. In fact, let's not talk about the time yet. Let's talk about the resources. Let's say you have applications, files, and a whole lot of resources, databases and all that. And then everything just goes just because the server crashes. What happens to the company? The company will have to get another server. That is, if the server is actually bad, not redeemable, they have to get on that server. And let's say, of course, one of the one of the policies of every company, good policies, in fact, is that you must always have backup for files. So let's say, fine, they have backup for these files. Now look at the time they will actually use in actually deploying these files back to the server, which can actually take 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, or even a week, depending on the experience of the system administrators who are actually working on that server. So to prevent this type of occurrence, it is always better to have your resources stored in the cloud, whereby you have an infrastructure in the cloud, such as AWS and Azure, which will actually help you in managing all this. Do you know why? Because, let me just read this. For cloud hosting, backup resources are dispatched in various data centers. Meaning that just like unlike the server hosting where we only have one physical machine somewhere, and then whenever that physical machine is being destroyed or it crashes, it means that that is the end of business for that. Let me just say 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, or it might even be a week or a month. Now, instead of having to go through that, cloud hosting actually gives that privilege that we can actually have different availability zones. And of course, because there are different availability zones, we have different data centers. And whenever you actually create a file, or maybe you actually store a file in the cloud, it also has automatic backups. Now look at it also. For those who actually have their web applications, their software is running on a cloud server, whenever there's a downtime on one data center or one availability zone, it automatically routes to the next available one as fast as possible. Unlike this, the normal server that you have to take so much time to repair or to fix or to upload and do a lot of operations, which on a norm wouldn't have been needed if you actually employed a cloud hosting service. So we have different cloud providers. We have Azure, we have Google Cloud, we have DigitalOcean, which has been doing a lot of campaigns lately. We have Alibaba Cloud, we have VMware, we have AWS, we have Linode, and we have so many. There are actually so many, but I would say these are the common ones that we know about over here. So just like Shyam, I'll be discussing about AWS. From all the Azure, Linode, and all that, we'll be picking AWS as a case study. Now, I'll be taking four.
Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
Mr. Mike, you have like 5 minutes left because we have to
5
finish
minutes?
before 5. Yeah, we have to finish before
Oh.
5. There's another meeting on this same link.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
So I will actually summarize all this. I'll summarize it. Now, we have 4 services over here. We have the S3, EC2, VPC, and CloudWatch. Now, these services actually have different functions that they actually do. Like the S3, we've discussed about that when Shyam had to present about CloudWatch, and then he had to create an S3 bucket. So from what we could see from that demonstration, it is very evident that S3 can be used as a storage service. So whenever you have a file, you can store. Whenever you have anything at all, maybe a resource in your company, you can store. But the only thing that you cannot store is an operating system. Don't expect that you store an operating system in S3 and expect it to start executing, or maybe you can say, no, it's not possible. But for S3, yes, you can store images, you can store videos, you can store as many contents as you want. And within S3, there's something called a bucket. And that bucket is what actually holds everything, all these images, everything that you want, all those resources that you want to actually keep for safe, maybe for the future or for later operations. All of them are actually stored in a bucket. And of course, these resources can actually be accessed just by making it public. Then we have our EC2. Our EC2 is used for creating servers. Our EC2 is used for creating either Ubuntu or Windows or Red Hat or CentOS, whatever it is, Kali Linux, it actually helps us create these servers. And of course, these servers are the ones that will help us maybe also installing maybe other packages like web servers, like what they call again, like maybe mail servers. It helps us to actually run all this so that we'll be able to do some operations such as mailing and also managing websites and applications. And we have the VPC as a service too under AWS, which is the virtual private cloud. Sorry, I didn't talk about the full meaning of an EC2. EC2 means elastic cloud compute, and then our S3 means a simple storage or a simple storage on service. So VPC now, which is the virtual private cloud, what it actually does is that it helps us to manage networks. It helps us to, it allows us to use the knowledge of subnetting and networking, of course, to create a communication between different devices and how resources are being shared, or maybe within and outside the organization. And we have a CloudWatch. So CloudWatch as a service works as a log service. Maybe, for example, in fact, it is very important that whenever you have your AWS service, maybe when you employ AWS as a service, it's very important for you to actually put some timelines to it. That, okay, fine, at this so time, I want you to tell me that maybe my subscription has expired, or whenever I have used up to $5, let me know about it. So actually, CloudWatch helps us to take logs of different activities. And of course, these logs are very important also, even in troubleshooting of systems or of operations, which actually happens within AWS. And of course, just like Shyam rightly said, one of the biggest advantages of AWS is that it also helps in integrating. It helps us even to work with APIs and all that. And of course, it has different services aside from all this. We have those that actually concern machine learning. We have those that actually concerns big data. There are so many. So at this stage, I won't talk about all this, but I'll be saying thank you for taking out time to attend this this session, and I hope you gained one or two things. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us today, and thank you for passing your knowledge to us, and thanks to the both speakers. So now, if you have questions, so within the next 5 to 10 minutes, so please let's ask the questions we have right now. Now about 5 to 10 minutes to ask questions. So our questions can start coming in now. Thank you.
Yeah, I will definitely help you out.
All right. So does anybody have any question?
So it means all are understood very well. Or we can say none of have understand well.
Okay. So that means everybody understood what was said. That was a good thing. Because all of us are smart. That was good. Yeah. Thanks to the both speakers. Thanks to the both speakers for speaking to us today, and thanks for taking out your time to come talk to us. Really appreciate it. And I don't know, is there any way, please, you can drop your LinkedIn account in case you want to reach out to you again, so we can follow you and all. Thank you.
I'll leave that way.
All right. So let's wait. We have one more set of presentations to do before the meeting ends finally. So. Okay, so that's right. All right, welcome to Become Dev Center. And Become Dev Center is a multi-location technology talent development solution platform. At Become Dev Center, we offer various services which include Become Academy, Become Tech Internship, Become Tech Apprenticeship, Become Community Events, Light Spaces. and we are run virtually near you, and we have some spaces, light spaces available at Yaba, Ibadan, Kano, Kaduna, Ijebu, Igbo, Warri, and we are planning to move, get more locations as time moves on. And we offer some other services called Income Global Tech, the Emigrate, sorry, Income Mentoring Programming, and Labs by Income. So let's drill down into some of our services. Our Bincom Academy is an intensive training program facilitated by Bincom Dev Center. Each technology application development class is typically a 4-week of intensive training. During this training, we shall take particular through our training curriculum that is knowledge track in a Montessori approach. And the price fee is 50,000. And we have various classes you can take in this class. For more information, you can visit our website at www.bincom.net/academy to know more about it and apply. Then our light spaces, you can find more information on that at blog.bincom.net/campuses. Of our community events, which is one of the things that we did today, it is divided into 3. We have the meetups, we have the master class, and we have the hackathon that we do. And also we have our Bincom Tech Network and Bincom Tech Club that we are hoping to grow to a bigger audience and we grow to something that Africa will be able to connect with. Techies in Africa will be able to connect through. Then our meetups, our masterclass, and our idea sharing, which our community events are divided into. So also you can learn skill, gain experience, and gain exposure. That's our Bincom Global Tech program. The former video you watched, the 5-minute video you watched before, really drill down into this. So if you are interested in that program, you can visit our website at you can send us an email at bincomdevcenter@bincom.net and to get started. So our Emigrate services include a free service and our premium services. And information and inspiration, Emigrate community, monthly open day, introduction video, Emigrate consultants, tech national brand ambassador over short inquiries. And if you are interested in this our Emigrate program, you can indicate interest at bincom.net/emigrate and request for this Emigrate services at blog.bincom.net/emigrate pricing. And we are inviting you to our next open day, which holds 2 Wednesdays in a month. And we have our video recordings from the past also available on our YouTube channel. You can join our next cohort of the Labs by Bincom, where you can start up your own build your own startup from scratch with your team. So you can, to know more about this, visit www.bincom.net/labs. And also we have a program where you can earn while you are learning. And in this program, you earn 10% of the payment made by your prospective Bincom Global Tech program participants referred by you. And where you get 10% of whatever the person pays for the first 6 months. To know more about this, you visit our website at MyCycle Bincom Dev Center/Obaras. Yeah, thank you. So to contact us, you can contact us as Bincom, www.bincomdevcenter.com, or you send email to us as bincomdevcenter, bincomdevcenter@bincom.net, or you should call the number on your screen. Thank you all for joining today. Yeah, we've come to the end of the program today, and thanks to the 2 speakers for speaking. And we all have we're sure that all of us have gained today and known more about cloud hosting. Thank you. Until the next week again. Thanks.
So thank you all of you for giving me this opportunity for the technical session. So we will be in touch very soon, and we will take sessions in the future like this. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Michael.
All right, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So see you soon.
Yeah.
We
Bye-bye.
will be in touch. Yeah. Bye. Have a nice day.
And you too.